Pre-season testing is pretty much upon us, and Aston Martin have revealed their backup plan after Lance Stroll announced he'd be missing the testing sessions in Bahrain this week. The Canadian driver suffered some minor injuries after an accident on his bike in Spain a week ago during his preparations to be ready for the new season. With Stroll sidelined, many wondered if Fernando Alonso would take over and do 100% of the driving this week as the 2023 cars hit the track for the first time during the 3 days of testing at the Bahrain International Circuit. However, Aston Martin have confirmed that Alonso will share driving duties this week with Academy driver and reigning F2 champion Felipe Drugovich. The young driver will be the first in the car on Thursday before Alonso takes the reins for the afternoon session on the opening day of testing. Now, of course, we wish Lance Stroll a speedy return from his accident, but it will be very interesting to see how the reserve driver performs in his place. The F1 Commission has revealed a host of agreed regulation changes after a meeting in London this week. The changes include a new wet weather tyre that will be a new compound for the wet weather tyre that will be available to teams from the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix this season, after plenty of constructors made note of the lack of performance of last year's tyre in the wet conditions. There has also been support for the FIA's Wet Weather Package project that would see teams using removable wheel arches to reduce spray and improve racing conditions when in extreme wet weather. Other changes are to the radio messages in Formula 1. Midway through the 2010s, driver radios were filled with messages replicating coaching, with specific instructions being passed on as to where time could be gained or lost to rivals. The FIA clamped down on such messages, as well as communication on formation laps. This has now been relaxed at all times during competition. There are also sporting, technical and financial changes. A number of minor changes have been approved in regards to the regulations, including a winter shutdown period for teams and power unit suppliers. There is also a tweak to the wording associated with the points given for reduced races to ensure an incident like Max Verstappen's World Championship victory in Japan and the confusion that came around that World Championship victory doesn't happen again. All of these changes, of course, will need approval from the World Motorsport Council. Elsewhere, Williams will be launching their own Drive to Survive style documentary based on their 2022 season called Untold. Saudi Arabia is looking to the future in F1 as the kingdom has discussed the idea of having their own Formula 1 team in the sport. And Max Verstappen is going with an old school Dutch flag theme for his helmet for 2023. See that and every single one of the car launches and all the latest news on GPFans.com and of course GPFans Global across social media as we continue our countdown to the start of pre-season testing this week.